Hello, I'm Caspar from Big Bold Goals.
And I'm Sue from Big Bold Goals. Caspar, did you see that recent survey from HubSpot that said 58% of employees trust a stranger more than they trust their leaders?
58%, right? That's an insane number, isn't it?
It is.
And you know what? It's funny because it correlates very much with what I'm hearing from a lot of clients right now, that the trust levels in our sort of remote, disconnected world, they've been suffering
Yeah.
because people just haven't been able to get together, to share, to connect in the way that they would have done traditionally. So absolutely, it's definitely a pattern that I'm seeing, that those trust levels have definitely decayed over this period of COVID.
Yeah, I agree. I'm hearing the same thing. I'm seeing the same thing. And, kudos to the organizations that are offering regular virtual training as a way to increase trust and keep people connected and connected to each other and to the organization and to the big, bold goals. So
Yeah.
what do you think? Is there a quick tip for helping to develop trust within your team?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, it's interesting just to reflect for a moment that, I'm seeing lots of organizations doing great things. And you mentioned there some of the initiatives that you've been seeing, but the organizations that are trying to create those connection points through whatever mediums are right for the types of employees in the organization. So whether it's WhatsApp groups, whether it's daily Zoom check-ins and so on. So just trying to create those mechanisms to make sure that people stay connected. But I guess, one of the, you asked for a tip there, see, I think one of the core things for me is to make sure that people are asking for feedback and then really listening to what's coming back. And one of the things I always find is that you've got to listen to that, to write it down, to reflect on it. It's so easy to miss that message if you don't really take it and chew over on it, right, and hear what's actually being said. So for me, that's one of the big things.
And you and I both being leaders for a long time, we know it takes courage to ask your employees for feedback and to just smile and listen and thank them for the courage to be able to deliver that feedback to you. It doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but you absolutely do have to listen. And if you get the same piece of feedback 2, 3, 4 times, then like it or not, maybe it's accurate. I know I've certainly had my experiences with that over the years, Caspar. I'm sure you
Well,
have.
it's funny, isn't it? Because, I often find, the patterns follow us around and those things until we actually finally see them. So once you actually really start to hear something, my hunch is that you will suddenly see that pattern occurring, not just in your work life, but in your home life as well. That's certainly been my experience too, right? And again, it's that bravery to ask that feedback and to really hear what's being said and to not react to that feedback when you hear it, because if you react, people won't be honest with you, right? You've just got to take it and reflect on it and really listen to what's being said.
And of course, trust is one of the big issues that we deal with in the Big Bold Goals immersion program.
Absolutely, and it's one of the fundamental building blocks, right? And the 20 principles in the program. That's one of the most common places that we start working with organizations, because what at the end of the day, what is a team, right? It's a group of people who trust each other. And going back to your statistics, Sue, if that level of trust isn't there, it's going to be really, really hard to build that high performance teamwork to be able to go and achieve your big bold goals. So that's why so often it's the starting point.